The Olive Tree Initiative just started with a bunch of students on campus from various different religions, cultures, political views, backgrounds, came together and they wanted to go and actually learn firsthand about the conflict that was going on in Israel-Palestine.
So students who are Muslim, Jewish, Druze, Christians, and other religions and backgrounds came together and came up with this idea that we were going to travel there as a group and see what's going on in the region from our own perspectives rather than what we hear from other people or the media.
Something people ask me a lot of the time is, oh, so you got to go on this trip for free? And my response is, nothing is for free.
I think there were times nobody wanted to say we thought it wouldn't happen, but they kept coming back to the table because they believed in it, and that's why it happened.
We exceeded my expectations entirely by raising the $60,000 to go on our trip. And it was a real hurdle to convince other people that it was something that could happen and should happen.
We introduced ourselves as students from UCI going on a trip independent of any organization. And that's how we made it happen.
Our main goal was to spend equal times in Israeli territory and Palestinian territory, so we really split up our days.
We went to Israel and we also went to Palestine in the West Bank, the cities there. We went to Ramallah, we went to Bethlehem, we went to Hebron. We actually stayed in Jerusalem, the old city, and we went to Haifa and Nazareth and Tel Aviv, which are all Israeli cities.
At all these places, we got to speak to different people, politicians, government officials, civilians, just everyday people who have to live this conflict.
The students made a request that they get to ask all the questions in the meetings. That was one thrilling moment, to know that the students were desperate to be able to ask questions, had that level of inquisitiveness.
It's very tragic that such a beautiful place could have so much conflict.
Most of the people, the majority of the people that we spoke to, do want peace and are living with each other and are neighbors door to one another.
Everyone feels connected to this place. Well, being there, I felt like it was my home, you know? It's easy to feel connected to it.
And I think that particularly what we learned coming back from this trip is that there isn't two sides of the conflict in order for you to be able to say that I'm pro one and not the other. We just saw that there was such a variety of opinions.
There's a lot of different viewpoints over there, a lot of different perspectives. The settler in Ariel has a different perspective than the settler in Gush Etzion. You know, there's people in Bethlehem have different perspectives than the people in Ramallah. So it's really complex, it's really difficult to understand.
For me personally, my high point during this trip was every morning I would walk down, when we were in Jerusalem, I would walk down to Al-Aqsa, the Dome of the Rock, for prayer. And as I was walking down, I saw Christians going to church, and I saw Jews going to the wall, and I realized that we're all going for the same purpose, to worship and please our Lord. And that to me, in one city and in a peaceful environment, for me that was most pleasing. I think it was awesome.
differing viewpoints actually teach you a lot about your own viewpoint. And having these different perspectives in the group opened my eyes to that, and it taught me a lot about the other side and the perspective that I had in the beginning.
I learned that it was okay to disagree, and it was okay to not have the same viewpoint as everyone else, and you can still have a discussion and not hate each other or be discivil to each other.
I really loved how everyone in the group felt comfortable to hold their positions and express those positions, and they were absolutely different among our group. They were varying positions, almost as varying as they are in the region.
At the beginning, one of the hurdles of the trip was that people believed this is a kind of a peace-building trip, where even the students came in and made clear, and I loved it from the beginning, we're not here to change our opinion. And I confirmed that and say, no, I don't want you to change your opinion. That's not why you're going on a trip. Peace-building doesn't mean you go and afterwards you're all best friends and big buddies, and you all love and kiss each other. It's about how this trip encourages you more learning and knowing about a situation. That encourages the dialogue, and that more dialogue and this more kind of communication then may lead to better understanding and conflict resolution. But this is an optional thing.
Initiatives like the Olive Tree Initiative are helping to bring back new ideas and new dialogue to campus. But I think the vast majority of the campus would fall within what we would call moderate. And unfortunately, like the media outside, they like to focus on the extreme viewpoints because that's what sells. No one wants to hear about students on campus making peace. They want to hear about students fighting and students disagreeing with each other.
Again, it's like an academic environment. It's for an exchange of ideas between people who have differing opinions. And I think if you can't have these academic discussions, this academic dialogue with differing opinions on this campus at a university, then where are you supposed to have this discussion?
And I think UCI is full of intelligent people, and they're a really progressive campus, and I think we can be known for being a campus that really did something amazing instead of just another campus that protests about Israel and Palestine.
This trip was truly the epitome of a scholarly adventure, I guess you can say.
It was so profound and so eye-opening, I can't even put it into words.
Just a few days into the trip, I realized how important this is and how much responsibility I should be taking to make sure that we actually take this back to campus and take this back to the people and show them what we've done.
Our main goal is to get other students involved. We don't want to just limit it to just us who went on the trip and got the experience, but we're hoping to have another trip with new students who can go as well, and to also have open dialogue here on campus.
The hardest barriers are out of the way now. We already figured out how to raise money and how to deal with bureaucracy and things like that. And now it's up to the next group of students to take initiative and become the new leaders of the next, OTI Part 2.
It kind of reaffirms the idea that I had that, a group of people can really change the world, or a group of people can really make a difference in this world if they want to.
Every single one of these students is a leader. These are students whose lives and actions from here on out on this campus and beyond are going to make a huge difference everywhere they go and have an effect on the rest of the world.
Every single speaker we heard when we were there, whether it was on the political side or a more personal side, whether they were negotiators or whether they're just civilians, they all seem to want the same thing. And they all seem to advocate understanding. And I think that's very important because when you bring it back to campus, when you bring it back to the United States, that is essential. Without understanding, there is nothing.